Welcome back to One Punch Man Anime Review, episode number 14. This time I'm reviewing the 24th episode of the anime, The Disciples Will, and the 111th chapter of the manga, Terrible Multiplying Bastard. Yeah, that's seriously the name of the episode. So, with this particular episode, picks up a lot. Now, this episode covers the last page of chapter 83 of the manga, and pretty much the entirety of chapter 84 of 84, and that's where it stops. Yeah, basically, first we have Bond versus Genos for about the first half of the episode with Silver Fang. Bomb. That's basically Silver Fang's brother, basically jumping in, and this takes up a good chunk of the episode. Fantastic battle. This is also shared with the background as well. And then we have the Phoenix Bird comes up, scoops up Genro, and then we have a giant centipede showed up. Yeah, the same one Metal Bat fought, and basically the three heroes try to take this thing on. Well, and of course I should point out that the shack that was basically destroyed, mostly destroyed last episode, yeah, it's gone now, completely gone. So it comes to the ground, and they all three of them try to take it on. They basically first we have Silverbang and Bomb just basically crack its X-Custom and apparently does nothing. And of course they also slice and dice his eyes. And of course Genos comes in, basically tries to get his his 2 cents in, beats the crap out of the thing. He blows up his insides, apparently does nothing. And then basically it's marched through the city. And then eventually King shows up with a megaphone. Of course, they also have a brief scene with the Hero Association headquarters, where King basically said he's in the area. He wants to know about Blast. Basically, this creature's grudge against Blast, and thinks that Blast is there. Just make sure he doesn't get to the city. Bang! Silverfang, of course, tries to take off his shirt. Shows up his massive scars. And apparently, he's basically in good shape for a man his age. And then, of course, Saitama shows up, destroys the thing in one punch. Yep. And the centipede is completely destroyed. Yep, it is completely gone. No more centipede. Yeah, and only its third appearance in the series, and destroyed by Genos. In one punch, like he usually does. Yep. And let's see. Then basically Genos asks Saitama what is he lacking. He says power. Okay. Now Genos himself. Now also while the ground is being torn up by the centipede, Genos, Silverfang, and Bomb decide basically save all the heroes. Of course, Genos saves Glasses while they save pretty much everybody else from being killed by the ground being destroyed. Yeah, we just gotta praise it for that. And let's see. Yeah, and anybody notices though that this season pretty much ends kind of very similarly to that of the end of last season. We see Saitama in a ruined area, basically him being the hero, but at least that, well, you don't have terrible twists of basically flattening him against a freaking wall this time. As a matter of fact, she's mentioned this episode, and she says, "Oh yeah, it's the only people with a threat to the Monster Association is her, Blast, and King." And apparently they didn't know nothing about Saitama at all, because King kept taking all his credit for all destruction of monsters. And he mentions the whole thing of the King engine. King has no idea what the heck that is. It's something people made up about him. Yep. Now, final thoughts on Season 2. Season 2, I know a lot of people didn't like it at the beginning because the animation, well, people knew the animation style was going to change. The animation changed because it changed studio. But I would say definitely the quality of when it comes to the animation look, how the anime looks itself, it's the same tone as basically the first season of the show. It's a tad bit darker than it was the first season, but yeah, at least it looks, in my opinion, this is my opinion when it comes to season 2, the animation looks really good this season. There's a couple episodes basically this season that felt very rushed, I do agree, but in the case of the last episode, no, it didn't feel rushed at all because they adapted one chapter, though they did pretty much adapt the last page of the previous chapter, but yeah, this episode was all one chapter. But at least gotta praise the fact the last few episodes, basically the pacing was a lot better. And over the course of 12 episodes, like the first season, where they covered the first 36 chapters, so that was Madhouse doing that. JC's staff covered 47 chapters. Mostly, there were some chapters they skipped over, the seeing the Atomic Knights students before they're seeing the episode, because for some reason they started out already inside the building. For some reason they skip over using a bone hero. They cut down a fight between Pig Hero and one of the monsters, but mostly put, they kept pretty much everything there. Even though the season basically had stuff cut from certain chapters and then later on put in other episodes, but at least the way the anime did it was done really well. I do appreciate DC Staff for doing that, and I think this overall was a really good season. It is a slight step down from season one, but not by much. It's still, in my opinion, a really good season, and the 19th episode of the series, which basically is for this season, I believe it is the 8th episode of the season, is by far, at that point, the best episode of the entire season. Now, you can kind of say this episode is really good too, yeah. So, basically, I do like the fact they improved on their pacing, because there's a few episodes that felt a bit rushed, and there was some stuff they still have they basically skipped over, like, I think it's like Death Gear using against the other Centipede, his machine gun. Yeah, for some reason they skipped over the first time he shot at the thing against the second one. I don't know why. Yeah. But they also cut out the character Lily, who is basically Buzzard's assistant in the manga. But for some reason, she's nowhere in this season at all, which I'm like, that's kind of weird. I mean, she did appear early on when the group shows up, but at some point when she's supposed to show up, she apparently is absent for some reason. Yeah, I have no idea why. Also, the season basically, if you notice, whenever Super S shows up, you never see a rear shot of her. Nope, in the manga, they love showing this woman's butt a lot. In the anime, you don't see that. Nope, there is no butt shots for her at all. Heck, the other thing, they did make some slight changes here and there, like having Genos basically leave the stadium where Saitama is, but where he's participating in the martial arts tournament, basically receiving a phone call, because in the manga, he just leaves, he just basically somehow leaves, for some reason, he's shown in the street. Then the anime, they show him basically receiving a phone call. Yep. And they also change Buzzard's, basically, when she gets whipped by Super S, they change direction of the whip, because in the manga, it's basically like kind of like a mirror reverse. In the manga, it's like down like toward the right, and the anime, it's like down toward the left, while also pretty much shredding her back. I would think Twister, her sister, was like, okay, you're hurt, go to a hospital. Yeah, and speaking of hospital, they have it where essentially put you have Cyclops here at the front of the hospital, where in the manga it's been 2 different chapters. Basically, for one chapter, just 2 pages, and another chapter, it's roughly 4 pages. What they did is they combined that into roughly a 5-minute sequence, which I do appreciate. They kept everything in from that particular defense, but at least that they actually put all in one episode, instead of like, okay, we show this briefly for like 2 seconds, and we cut away something else. I'm sure that JCZ probably noticed that, like, hey, why don't we take these 2 relatively like related scenes, just basically put them in one episode? Yeah, even though they did kind of mix and match some certain chapters, yeah, some pages were basically told out of order, but hey, at least the anime make it look really good, and the fight scenes this season are fantastic. Yep. Now to move on to this newest chapter of the manga, the terrible manipulating bastard. Yep. First, you have a cover image of the 20th volume of the manga. Though here, I think only like volume 16 came out here. 17 is going to come out really soon. Chapter starts off, well, first we have a interactive. We have like what looks like a moving image of a crow basically flying around damaged parts of the city. And then you have Child Emperor contacting, I think it's supposed to be any hero, says the hostage team, the executive son's been rescued, and then like Captain Misa like, the Child Emperor is really amazing. Yep, his millions are excellent. Very close. Can anybody hear me? And basically, they wondered for a while if anyone's going to answer him. And then it's Zaiman is the first one to answer. And then it's like, Sweet Mask, like, I understand. Sweet Mask here, I understand the hostage situation. The monsters are no big deal. I will continue to carry out justice. Yep. And then we have Like the Atomic Samurai, of course, he's taking on Black Sperm. I'll get to in a minute. I found my kid's like, huh? And of course, and the kid's like very happy to be rescued. And then for some reason, I'm not sure if this was a goof by part of the artist, because Mitsuki was seen just a few pages back in this same chapter, and this is the same scene. For some reason, she had put on her gold medals for some reason. I don't know why, but she did. Like, we have to go. Mission complete. It's like, he has other stuff to do. And this epic ever offered to go with him. He's like, nope, that's not necessary. We still take tax. And then the last 2 pages just Atomic Samurai versus Black Sperm. And he's like has arrived, and of course then he basically goes a giant arm. Atomic Samurai slices that up, and goes multiple heads. That gets sliced. He keeps multiplying, keeps slicing and dicing, and that's the chapter ends. Like, it's over. It's be death bait. Yeah, really good chapter. I give this chapter hopefully a 9 out of 10. Looking forward to next chapter whenever it does come out. Okay, so that's it for this particular review. Well, 2 videos down, 3 to go to re-record. Okay, but till you see my next review, which will be review of the newest episode, Dragon Ball Super. Yeah, I do remember what happened in that episode. Okay, but till you see the next review. Bye.